Hi, so I'm Rachel, and I'm a marketing analyst at Sparefoot. We're a web startup in town. It's an online self-storage marketplace, so kind of like Hotels.com for finding a storage unit nationwide. Not the most glamorous industry, so I do social media and PR, and I manage our blogs and write marketing copy for emails and landing pages for our site. So it's definitely not immediately the most fun industry, self-storage, to be in. So a lot of challenges for doing social. And so I'll talk about today how to basically do social media marketing, planning, and strategy no matter what your business is. So thank you so much to Adam and Laura for inviting me here, and everyone at American Bingo for being so hospitable, and everyone for coming and listening to me. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So yes, I wanted to start by referencing this campaign by MailChimp that they just pulled off actually a couple weeks ago. Some of you may have heard of it, but they basically were nearing their 1 million user mark, and this is just a company that does email marketing. It's like an email marketing platform for businesses. So again, not the most immediately exciting consumer-facing type of industry. It's a little more B2B, but they're such a fun company. And as they were nearing 1 million users, they decided they were going to do a huge giveaway of just company swag. And they just promoted this all through social media, directing people to a really cool landing page like this, where you basically, they would send out tweets when they hit, you could watch the number go up to 1 million. And then as soon as it hit 1 million, they tweeted and said, okay, come and get your stuff. And people could sign up to order really quick shirts, hats, and like little MailChimp stuffed toys. And it was all pretty high quality, kind of cool swag that you would not mind wearing. And they released it all, and you could actually, the coolest thing was you could watch all the inventory numbers go down as people were quickly, frantically ordering all the items. And then after, they did a follow-up blog with a video that showed a map of the world and showed every time someone ordered an item, it would show like a little bleep going off on the map, and it was all happening really fast. And just cool multimedia campaign that they just took this idea of how can we get people to wear our brand like a billboard and get excited about trying to quickly get free stuff. You know, they pulled it off, and it was just so cool that I thought I'd start with that fun example of things that you could do. Okay, I think click. So obviously social media is important for branding. It's also 2011, so at this point it's kind of like best practice. You should be on these spaces as a business. And branding is so important, such an important effect of this. If there's so many places that your business can live online now, it's just more opportunities to establish yourself and get your unique value proposition and your company's personality out there for everyone to see. And it's also your chance to share high quality content that's educational, adds value to your brand, or just otherwise entertaining and compelling type of content that you're putting out. Social media makes it easier for your brand's biggest fans to spread the word about you as well. But one of the most important reasons is SEO. I really see social media as an extension of your SEO efforts. You can build links within all this quality content that you're putting out, and it just gets your brand like all over Google, the more networks that you're a part of. So you can also usually measure ROI for some of these networks. So I'll talk about more of that later. Click. Okay, so I love Zoolander. Basically, in this scene, I don't know if you remember, but he's looking at his reflection in a puddle and going, who am I? So where do you start? First, you have to figure out who you are. Look at your competition and see what they're doing. A lot of you are probably not starting from scratch. You probably have a lot of your networks up and running. So hopefully you'll learn something as I go through all this strategy stuff. If you're looking to refresh things, looking to add a new network to your mix, or just looking for your next great idea, it's always good to revisit some of this strategy stuff, like the original, thinking about your brand and your positioning in the market. So start tracking your competition's numbers, see what they're missing in their content. Then look inside at your brand and figure out what's your unique value proposition that makes you competitive and sets you apart from the competition. It can be anything that just makes your brand fun and compelling or otherwise entertaining that would make people want to engage with you online and also just as a customer in real life. So once you figure that out, it'll guide pretty much everything else. The voice and attitude of what you're emanating on social media. Because obviously no one wants to hear a company spewing their corporate literature or just hearing them talk about how great they are. So, try to kind of find that gray area between being like really, really rigidly professional and boring, and then also being sloppy, because you still want to represent your brand really well and professionally, even if you're something fun like a tattoo parlor, for example. And then also be consistent. There should be one dedicated person or maybe two dedicated people managing all your social media accounts so that the voice stays consistent. They should really understand your brand and be able to put that forth. Then your design conventions are really important. Most of your companies probably already have your logo and kind of your graphic stuff in place already. But for social, you may, in addition to logos as your user pictures, also want a custom Twitter background, a custom blog background, and things like that.